Thank you for everybody who's arrived on time. We'll get started just in just a few moments. I just need to give a few formalities or warnings. Firstly, we are recording today's event and we'll be posting it on the ARTiSTORY official YouTube page in the next few days, so you can watch it again or share it with your colleagues. Please do bear with us. We're all working remotely and from home, so there may be a few technical difficulties or some of the slides may be a bit slow moving, but please be patient with us. We'll be sharing some translations in the chat when we need, both in English and in Chinese. So I can see hear a lot of pings, a lot of new people joining us. So, but I appreciate everybody showing up on time. So I want us to get started on time to respect everyone who's here. So firstly, welcome and thank you very much for joining us today for our Spring Summer 2023 and Beyond Global Creative Launch. This is our second creative launch following our inaugural launch in September last year, and we're thrilled to see some returning names and some new names from all over the world. Today's speakers will be myself, Natasha Dyson, co-founder and licensing director, Izan He, founder and CEO, Anna Stein, country manager and business development director for North America, Alicia Chen, country manager and business director for APAC, and Georgina Heatley, editorial and research executive. We also have Heidi Hanjing, our co-founder and licensing director, available to answer questions from our colleagues in China. So today we'll be updating you on new developments and partnerships in the business, a reminder of our business model, and showcasing our new creative, leaving time at the end for questions. So I'm now going to pass the time over to Izan. You're on mute, Izan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends on where you are. Welcome to the Global Creative Launch for 2023 Spring and Summers. My name is Yizhan. I am the founder and CEO of ARTiSTORY. Many of our team members are joining us today from 6 offices, from Boston, from Barcelona, London, Singapore, Shanghai, and Beijing. And many of you who know us, ARTiSTORY has a very unique businesses. We are an IP licensing specialist. We focus on nothing except art and culture. Yes, we work with many of the world's top museums, art galleries, science centers, and libraries. And you may see us as the Disney in the space of art and culture. And every year, we work very closely with our museum partners, and we release the art and cultural themes twice a year. The first one normally is in the month of April, and the second one is in the month of September. So let's take a quick reflections of what we have accomplished since our previous launch back in September last year. So please, next slide. Yeah, I have to say that over the past 6 months, we are very proud as a company. We have accomplished many of the first, including the very first licensing program with a rising Chinese direct-to-consumer brands in the fashion industries, and the first licensing program with international home appliances brands, and also a first licensing program with American D2C brands. Our first licensing program with the specialty food companies. And also we are entering into licensing program with a UK company who cover the European markets. But of course, I will leave that to my team member to share with you more in details later on. Art and culture is universal. It appeals to a global audience. And like music, art and culture, it transcends national borders. It connects people. It tells stories that touch and change our lives, and that we all appreciate art and culture, or at least we're learning to appreciate art and cultures. And regardless of the country that we come from, our age, our gender, we all intrigued by our own cultures and all intrigued by other people's cultures as well. So in short, art and culture has a huge following everywhere. It can be easily in the billions of peoples. So as a retailer or consumer brands, in such a fiercely competitive market, whereby gaining attention from the shopper is getting more and more challenging with so many screens in their hands. And cost acquisitions for new shopper has been rising over the years. So as a brand, as a consumer brand, as a retailer, what can we do to tap into that huge base of follower for art and culture? So do you have an answer to that questions? I hope you do. So let's find out. So today, joining us today, there are over 150 companies, and many of them are retailers and well-known consumer brands from countries such as the UK, the EU, Singapore, Korea, Japan, and China. And some of you were with us 6 months ago when we launched our first global theme for the 2022 themes. And we thank you for your confidence in working with us. And we're excited by the wonderful licensed products that you have already created in your marketplace. And we are equally excited by the initial success you are seeing already. So welcome back to this event. Of course, our success is not possible without the partnership from many of the world's top museums. I'm very glad to introduce two of the museums that we have just signed up. The first one, the Thyssen-Bornemisza Museum from Madrid, Spain. And we have a short video from their managing directors. Please, next slide.
Good morning. My name is Evelio Acevedo, Managing Director of the Thyssen-Bornemisza National Museum in Madrid, Spain. We hold one of the most comprehensive and unique Western art collection, coming from late 13th century, the primitive Italians, up to the 20th century, the pop art. We are very happy to welcome our cooperation with ARTiSTORY. And our ambition is to spread together our brand globally. We look forward to cooperate with ARTiSTORY for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. As you can see, art and culture moves people. And the second museum is Greek museum. It's called Benaki Museum. This is the oldest and also the largest private museum in Greece. It has a Greek art collections that around in the world that covers all areas from the New Stone Age to the 20th century to the 21st centuries. And indeed, we just signed Benaki Museums only last Friday, and we look forward to working with them and introducing the museum to all of you in very soon. So we have a growing portfolio of world-class museums. So what are our value propositions to retailers, to brand owners like you? I think we can summarize into three. The first one, thanks to art and culture, which is able to appeal to a mass on global scales. So we help our retailer and licensee to expand or develop new product line that are inspired by art and culture. Second one, thanks to the endorsement by our museum partners, we're able to provide our partners with a lot of story behind each of the artifacts and each of the design assets, so that together we help you to improve the brand image and also in return to enjoy higher price premium in the marketplace. But the last but not the least, thanks to the curatorial support, we're able to put together videos and different type of formats in terms of contents to support as part of our storytelling and the content support to our licensees. All right, and the next slide, please. In which will lead to the announcement of a strategic partner that ARTiSTORY has recently signed with a strategic partner called Sevens. Sevens marketing consulting company is a leading company that provides services to help direct-to-consumer brands. Indeed, they have been servicing hundreds and hundreds of direct-to-consumer brands. And that is welcome videos from their founder and CEO, Chris. Please.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chris, the founder of Sevens Marketing Consulting. Sevens aims to let DTC companies build their brands sales to win overseas markets. We provide customers with complete marketing solutions, including brand consulting, integrated marketing strategies, content marketing, and digital marketing to create visible and measurable value for all our customers. It's a great pleasure to be a strategic partner of ARTiSTORY and to attend the 2023 Global Culture and Art IP Trends online conference. I wish ARTiSTORY and all of their partners a successful, fruitful conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, from our partner Sevens, and I have taken the liberty to share with you these slides, which I saw in the Sevens company introductions, which I believe Sevens and ARTiSTORY will share the same philosophy in terms of what are key growth engines for direct-to-consumer brands. I think many of you may be familiar with this formula because irregardless the businesses you are in, irregardless the product category they're in, irregardless the kind of country that we focus on, this is the key parameters to determine the success of a businesses. The first one is V, visitors. How many traffic are you able to attract, both online and offline to your stores? The second one is conversion rate. Depends on how many, based on let's say 100 consumers who walk in your doors, how many make the purchase? That's conversion rate. And ATV stands for the average transaction values. And the last but not the least is how many times the repeat purchase can take place. And that eventually translates into your bottom line, which is your sales and your profit margins. And from art and cultural perspective, ARTiSTORY, we're able to bring in art and culture that appeal to the masses, as I spoke just now. And also thanks to the product design that are inspired by the artifacts, by the collection from our museum partners, we are able to entice the shopper with better design products. The third, thanks to the support and endorsement by our museum partners, the licensed product will be perceived with higher product values to the consumers, which results into a higher price premiums for to our licensee partners. And last but not the least is we're throughout the purchase process, we're able to provide a very favorable shopping experience. Products that not only to satisfy the daily needs of a shopper, but also inspire them to learn more about art and culture in their pastimes. So as a result, Together, as we've seen in or many of our cases in the past and recent cases, art and culture has proven to be very effective, not only in retaining the existing customers, but also helping our clients to acquire new shoppers a lot more effective. As data shared with us by Alibaba, art and culture has helped businesses in terms of new shopper acquisitions as high as 70%. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the time to the next components, which is new businesses that we just launched in Shanghai. Is called ARTiSTORY Shanghai Trading Development Company Limited. It's a company that is dedicated to 3 key functions. The first one, the next slide. The next slide. As you can see, we focus on 3 core businesses. The first one, ARTiSTORY Trading Development. We work closely with our museum partners, and we provide supply chain solution to support your on-site stores. And also we are helping many museum partners to produce merchandise to support their touring exhibitions. Second, ARTiSTORY Trading is also operating flagship stores for museum partners on Tmall, on JD, and many other marketplaces in China, which in a process will help our museum partners to expand their market coverages beyond their home countries. The third, ARTiSTORY is in the process of launch the first ARTiSTORY X store, which is a very unique store that comes with a lot of immersive contents, with immersive exhibitions, display, themed cafe, restaurants, workshop, and also a very unique merchandise stores inspired by art and cultures. Next. And over the past 1 year, we have multiple channels in various markets, including the online stores and also the offline stores. And also, as I said, we are also helping many exhibition companies to launch licensed products in the on-site stores. And also, we have already been working with hotels in terms of the theme hotels. And also, we're introducing the licensed products in the hotel lobbies. Of course, there are gift shops and bookstores and so forth. Next. So I'm going to pass time to my colleagues who are calling in from different offices. Let's start with Anna, who is our country manager and business development director for North America. Anna,
hi, everyone. Thank you, Izan. I am Anna Stein. I am the country manager for the US, and with me today are the US team, and they include Julianne Hilbach, who is our sales manager, Ann Jasperson, our creative director, Jason Baums, our retail director, and Olivia Salamone, who is our researcher. We are thrilled to be here today with ARTiSTORY. We have a whole lot of wonderful things in the pipeline, not to mention 2 incredible deals that I'm very happy to present today, which are Ruggable. Ruggable is one of the top DTC rug companies, and they do everything from Star Wars to Jonathan Adler, and they will be rolling out all sorts of rugs and consumer products for the National Gallery and launching in June this year. So we're thrilled to have them on the table. And the next is Jade City Foods. Jade City Foods will be rolling out all sorts of organic, sustainable hot sauces and coffees. Right now, they are working with the MFA to do bespoke labels. They have 5 stars across the board with all of their reviews. And it's just an incredible partner to add. Not to mention that all of our companies that we're speaking with, it seems that art licensing has really been taking a turn just in the time that I've been here, in the sense that where it used to be that art was the pillar of culture, now it's transcended into pop culture. And what we're seeing across all the department stores like Target and Walmart, high-end department stores, is that Van Gogh is now just as cool as Mick Jagger, and Frida Kahlo is on the same shelf space as Ariana Grande. And it really is something that is fantastic to witness and to see in how excited that all of our partners are whenever we talk to them, that it really is a unique and incredible set of properties to work with. So with that, I will pass you on to Alicia. And Alicia is the country manager for APAC.
Thank you, Anna. I'm Alicia, Country Manager and Business Development Director of ARTiSTORY Singapore, and I have Joy Tan, Sales Creative Executive from our Singapore office. I believe some of you guys have already knew us. So we can move to the next slide here. ARTiSTORY started the Global Artist Program in late 2021 as an expansion of ARTiSTORY business model, at the same time knowing that brands love the ideas of cross-collaborations with artists. We began exploring working with artists, inviting them to create design assets inspired by artifacts and artwork from our museum partners. Through these programs, artists will get a chance to be co-branded with museums and brands, which we believe it helps to promote and create higher awareness for retailers and our museum partners. The two designs demonstrated here are inspired by elements taken from the Dunhuang mural painting, as well as my background. So we invited Laura from the UK and Swefta from Ukraine to create a series of design assets for this team. All design assets created for the Global Artist Program will be made available to ARTiSTORY licensee, including global consumer brands and global retailer to use on licensed products, products packagings, retail display, and marketing materials. So moving to the next slide. As we are taking baby steps in these new programs, finally, we have made this great achievements ever since we started. I would like to take this opportunity to proudly announce our new partnership with Parsons School of Designs in the United States. I believe some of them are actually online. So this new collaborative projects with N Ventures from the new schools has given us the opportunity to work with world top university, while we invite Parsons alumni to reimagine and reinterpret classical arts in today's modern world. We are excited and look forward to more designs to be created from these partnerships. We have prepared a short video from the Parsons School of Design coming up next.
Hi, I'm Debbie Gibb, Senior Managing Director of the New School. When N Ventures, the strategic arm of the university, formed this partnership between Parsons School of Design and ARTiSTORY, it was very exciting. This is the first time ARTiSTORY has ever partnered with a university. It offers a world-class education and a number of design practices, including art history. That makes our alumni ideal designers to reinterpret these museum pieces in the commercial context. We can't wait to see this collaboration between Parsons and ARTiSTORY unfold. And we're so glad these types of partnerships can bring design education to wider and wider audiences.
Thank you very much. Next, we will welcome Natasha Dyson, co-founders and licensing directors from our UK office.
Thank you, Alicia. So I'll introduce myself at the beginning, and now I'm going to talk to you or remind some of those that are rejoining us on our business model. So firstly, the name ARTiSTORY comes from the two key functions we perform as a business. Firstly, the connection we make with the original artworks and artifacts and the inspired designs we create from them. Secondly, the storytelling, the history of those artworks and artifacts and the stories we tell through various forms of content. We have an extensive team of creatives, including researchers, designers, content writers, and immersive experts who not only create beautiful designs, but ensure we tell the story of each artwork and artifact through the content we create. ARTiSTORY partners with leading museums, galleries, science centres, libraries, and now artists from all over the world. We hold the master licensee rights for most licensed products, extending right through to immersive experiences and pop-up shops. So ARTiSTORY transforms artifacts to merchandise. Inspired by the original artworks and artifacts, ARTiSTORY creates on-trend, modern and contemporary designs that are appealing and relevant to today's shopper. The product mock-ups are from our 2022 Botanical Affairs theme and the Vintage Romanticism collection, which was inspired by artworks from the National Gallery. A beautifully designed product is the first thing that a customer will notice, and this is why developing usable design assets for product and packaging is so core to our business. ARTiSTORY performs three key functions for our museum partners. We research, we create, we curate and we create. So when we research trends, looking at working with trend forecasters like WGSN and Pantone, observing what's happening with the luxury brands and what's trending in popular culture. Once we've identified these trends, they form the basis for our themes. For Spring/Summer 2023, we have 4 themes, which we then break down into smaller collections. To form these collections, our team of researchers delve into our museum partners' vast collections of artefacts and artworks, matching them with the themes and collections, a task that could be quite overwhelming for licensees. Taking inspiration from the selected artworks and artefacts, our designers create a style guide for each collection, and each style guide is made up of beautiful patterns, prints, badges, and icons that can be immediately applied to product and packaging. The next function is licensing. Once we create design assets, we license these to global retailers, brands and manufacturers. So using the example of Uin Footwear, a direct-to-consumer brand, the licensee first selects the theme and then the collection within that theme. In this instance, Uin chose the Gathering of the Greats theme and selected artworks from the National Gallery. The licensee then receives the relevant style guides for each collection, receiving exclusive designs delivered as layered files to allow customization. The designs have been pre-approved and authorised by our museum partners and are licensed out with the museum logo. You can see from Uin's website that they've used the Van Gogh Wheatsfield as the original artwork. In fact, Uin has a whole collection of footwear. I've just selected this page as an example. So they've created products using a combination of ARTiSTORY designs, and they've also personalised some of those designs. The next, to demonstrate a slightly different model, Abode is a European direct-to-consumer home appliance brand. They recently launched a robot vacuum cleaner in February this year in the UK, US, Spain, France, Germany and Italy. They selected the Gathering of the Greats theme, but they chose to select specific masterpieces from the National Gallery: Ambrosius Boschart's Still Life of Flowers in a Wanley Vase, Claude Monet's Water Lily Pond, and Vincent van Gogh's iconic sunflowers. Rather than using ARTiSTORY's designs, they worked with one of our global artists to have a completely exclusive design. Licensees can feel safe in the knowledge that if they work with ARTiSTORY, they'll have access to a constant supply of on-trend creative that will appeal to their customers and is all licensed under one contract. Our third function is as a content developer. Gen Zs and millennials crave experience where they can learn, interact, engage, or feel that they've bettered themselves and their lives engaging with a product, brand or experience. And this is why content is so important to ARTiSTORY and should be for our licensing partners. ARTiSTORY creates various forms of content. One form of content is the narrative, which we include in our style guides. We include information on the collection, things like the era, the styles, the artists. We provide information on each of the artists and information on each of the artworks, and also information on our museum partners. The licensee can then break down that narrative to use it for packaging, swing tickets, in-store point of sale, or partner that with product images for digital marketing purposes. On the left is an example of a swing ticket showing the original artwork that has inspired the design. It shows the information on the artist, information on the museum, and information on the artwork itself. So all of that engages with the consumer buying that product. In addition to supplying narrative, ARTiSTORY works with licensees to create content for digital marketing purposes, such as photo shoots, filming, interviews, and product launches. Engaging content that appeals to our core target audience of the Gen Zs and millennials and targeting them online where they consume content. Here we can see Uin Footwear's Instagram page. It shows their feed with multiple posts for each of their styles. As well as eye-catching images, each post contains a bite-sized piece of narrative to support the product. Abode is another great example of a mix of innovative digital marketing content. So we work with Abode to create a short video for social media, filming the robot vacuum cleaner at the National Gallery. The bottom left picture shows one of these, the filming in progress. You can see some of, we also arranged an interview with the artist and with Judith Mather, the buying and merchandising director at the National Gallery. So Abode's Instagram page shows multiple posts in the run-up to the launch and following the launch. When it comes to building successful licensing programs, stories play a key role in the shopping experience, an inspiration that every licensed product needs to deliver. Storytelling can create an emotional connection with your target consumer and establish a relationship, help them to learn about the brand or product, which will hopefully lead to them becoming loyal customers as well as securing new customers. ARTiSTORY is dedicated to developing various forms of innovative and high quality content for use both online and offline for storytelling purposes. You've already heard about the examples from Abode and Ewan, the videos, the photo shoots and the interviews, but ARTiSTORY will also be creating live streaming from videos, documentaries, working with retailers and brands to create interactive shop windows, pop-up stores, creating immersive experiences and spaces, product launches, workshops, dining experiences, all of which will improve brand awareness and generate substantial amounts of engagement with audience and retailers and brands. I'll now pass the time to Georgina to introduce our Spring-Summer 2023 themes and collections.
Thank you, Natasha. Hi everyone, and welcome to our theme launch for ARTiSTORY Spring-Summer 2023. I'm Georgina Heatley, Research and Product Development Executive. Working with Research Editor and Product Management Executive, Ben Quinn, we researched the museum collections for inspiration for our global sales and creative themes. As many of you may have joined us in September for our 2022 autumn-winter themes, we'd just like to mention that all our style guides, past and present, will be available for many years to come as evergreen themes. When we say spring-summer, this is just the first season. We aim for these style guides to launch fully as product collections. Since the founding of ARTiSTORY, we focused on storytelling, and we are launching 3 new themes and have a refresh of one of our previous themes, Botanical Affairs. Botanical Affairs now has a new collection within it and is one of our evergreen themes. Marvelous Menagerie, She Created, and Glitz and Glam join our current themes. Let's explore. To start our theme launch, I will begin with Marvelous Menagerie. Is going green just a trend, or is this a real change we're seeing in our world from supporting local businesses, recycling where possible, and using sustainable products? We at ARTiSTORY look to these sustainable trends for our themes while we are in a shift of people pivoting and being consciously aware of what they buy, what they wear, what they eat, and how this reflects who they are. Within our Marvelous Menagerie theme, we have looked towards the fashion industry and many others as a frontrunner to how animals have featured in our everyday lives consistently for generations. Animal mania and animal sketches is an upcoming trend, and here we are to be part of it. Marvelous Menagerie has 5 collections within it. Collection 1 is Mythical Marvels, 2 is Free Spirits, 3 is Roaming Free, 4 is Endangered Environments, and 5 is Fairy Friends. What creatures have you imagined? Those that don't exist, animals that can fly when we think they can run. Do they roar? Do they laugh? Do these animals have fun? Some of our greatest stories feature creatures from a world unknown to us, one that lives within our minds. The ancient worlds gave us a great form of time travel. Through artifacts such as mosaics, ceramics, and wall paintings, these civilizations still exist today. We grasp an understanding into their imaginations, which we've taken inspiration from here. For Mythical Marvels, we have explored the collections of Dunhuang through the paintings in the Mogao Caves, as well as the ancient collections in the Museum of Fine Arts Boston and the Brooklyn Museum. We have expanded our auspicious animals from Dunhuang, which brings together a variety of cultures and their mythical beliefs, which were interpreted on the cave walls in this knowledge-sharing epicenter along the Silk Road. We'd like to share the designer assets and mock-ups here. You may have seen some of these designs before, but we've added to some new themes to these designs to update the collection for 2023. Free Spirits. With John James Audubon's Great American Birds gaining traction in the contemporary world, we have looked to this famous scientist and artist for inspiration to create designs to fly across the world. The collection highlights include Audubon's birds from the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, which is a colourful book entitled The Birds of America. And these are the finest ontological works ever created. We also have a collection of more Eastern birds in the Taipei National Palace Museum, as well as a range of artefacts from the Brooklyn Museum. As fast as wind, leaping to new heights. As fast as the wind, leaping to new heights, roaming free, is racing around the track. These free spirits, with wild hearts, fillies and stallions, lead the reins from horse to humans, friends for centuries, riding for miles, exploring the world we go. Horses have inspired much of everyday life for generations, helping on farms, racing and entertaining. To many, country pursuits are an exciting part of life, and for this collection of designs with the National Gallery as our partner, we hope to target a range of products from apparel, riding and sports gear, to outdoor activities and IP Plus partnerships in the entertainment, travel and experiences sector. With a range of famous artists in this collection, we share the work of Rosa Bonheur, who was famous for her paintings of a variety of animals, and George Stubbs with his famous whistle jacket painting, and Peter Paul Rubens and Anthony van Dyck. The environment is endangered, as we know, and the younger generations understand this and are engaged with this fact. Creatures are disappearing, landscapes are changing, and this collection celebrates creatures great and small who have walked our planet for centuries. For millennials and Gen Zs, we believe these designs will be fun for many licensing partnerships. This collection focuses on the Brooklyn Museum, who have a rich collection of animal-related artefacts, some of which depict endangered animals and some of who are already extinct. Together we can bring these adorable animals back to life in the consumer market. We also have selections from the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston and the National Palace Museum, Taipei. Our designers have brought these into the digital age, and we've taken the geometric look from the ancient world for today's market. We believe these designs will work across products for all genders, age groups, and product categories. Here are some examples. With the Brooklyn Museum for Endangered Environments, we've also created a hip-hop street style look, especially for Gen Z, who evoked the attention of the surrounding natural environments. These artifact selections have been brought into the modern world with a pop art design. 2023 is the Chinese Year of the Rabbit, following this year's Year of the Tiger. In ancient mythology and recent popular iconography, rabbits have appeared frequently through children's stories, such as those of Beatrix Potter, and legends within Dunhuang and globally, including for Easter. Our Fairy Friends collection hopes to celebrate many traditions, including Easter and children's love of their pets and fairy animals, as well as the Dunhuang 3 rabbit stories. This is a symbol of 3 hares or rabbits chasing each other in a circle that is overlapped to create a dynamic image of movements, and historians believe this symbol has the origins in the East, which spread across the Silk Road from Dunhuang. With the Museum of Fine Arts Boston's collection, we have access to a few of Beatrix Potter's original sketches of her beloved rabbits. These sketches later inspired her famous children's books. 120 years ago, Beatrix Potter became a published author, and within a year or two, she became the first person ever to take her books and license the original IP as a toy, lending her characters and rabbits to the worldwide sensations they are today. These bunny sketches are new to the licensing world and have yet to be seen on products. We hope these can inspire a variety of products, especially for children. Through the Brooklyn Museum's collections, we have explored the historic artifacts for ceramics to paintings for an Easter holiday theme. These designs pay homage to classical fairy tales and holidays celebrated by children and adults alike. Here we see the cute bunny encompassing Christmas, Chinese New Year, Thanksgiving, and many more celebrations. The Dunhuang Moon Fairy Bunnies collection is inspired by the poetic tradition of moon worshipping in ancient East Asia and the traditional 3 hares that are seen in this scene in the Mogao Caves in Dunhuang offer a vibrant colour palette for the mock-ups. We hope this collection will celebrate the Chinese New Year, Year of the Rabbits 2023. Our next theme, She Created, centres around artists often lost throughout history. It is no surprise that many of the famous artists we know today and have learnt at school and featured heavily in popular culture through books, films, and exhibitions are famously male artists, remembered globally. While we are in the 2020s, we see a global cultural shift towards a new wave of feminism, gender equality, celebrating diversity and personal expressions. As we mark a new era, ARTiSTORY hope to lead the way in sharing the work of fabulously created and under-celebrated female artists through our many designs and the contents and stories we share alongside these. 21st century women are strong, confident, independent, creative, assertive, and fabulous. Over centuries, the capability, freedoms, and rights of women has been challenged and interpreted. We're showcasing many masterpieces here, or shall we say, Madame pieces. Within this theme, we have 4 collections: Powerful Minds, Fashion Through Time, Loving Life, and Colours of Cubism. Since the 20th century, masterpieces by artists have been collected and celebrated in museums and around the world. This collection celebrates some of the women who paved the way for those joining art schools today, enhancing their skills and living their dreams. As the famous poet Maya Angelou once said, "You cannot use up creativity. The more you use, the more it grows." Artists such as Guan Zhaosheng, Mary Cassatt, and Bertha Morisot have inspired us as a team to reinterpret their work. Powerful Minds centres around the infamous work of Guan Zhaosheng, who lived in the 13th century in China. She was the wife of famous painter Zhao Mengfu. However, she was a famous artist in her own right. She brought together calligraphy and poems, and many of her paintings exist today in the National Palace Museum. For this collection, we've also taken inspiration from the Brooklyn Museum and the Tiffany lamp collections. We've looked at the National Gallery's portraits. Guan Zhaosheng is one of China's most famous artists. Her work caught the attention of Emperor Rengzhi, and she was a talented bamboo ink painter at a time when bamboo was a masculine symbol. She broke boundaries in art and is still remembered today over 800 years later. This collection also features a style guide of artwork inspired by the Brooklyn Museum's Tiffany lamp collection. Clara Walcott Driscoll was a creator behind some of the many stunning Art Nouveau designs, including the dragonfly lamp. We have brought these designs into the 21st century, inspired by the self-styled Tiffany girl. Each of our ARTiSTORY style guides will continue to be available for many years to come, and we have started Fashion Through Time with the early 20th century. Many of these outfits are being seen in popular culture currently, particularly on the television, in shows such as the recently successful The Gilded Age. The fashion plates selected show female illustrator Mila Kohler's designs for women in sport, and we hope these will inspire partnerships, particularly for licensed collections in preparation for the upcoming Paris Olympic Games in 2024, especially with the highly influential Art Deco style, which is yet again back on trend. These fashion plates are from the collection of the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston and brings together a pop art modern style. The collection Loving Life encompasses a casual, fun pursuits we all enjoy throughout humanity. A peaceful afternoon in the sun, chatting, exploring, and enjoying what the world has to offer. Particularly, we've looked at Dunhuang paintings of Chinese ladies powdering their faces and cooling off in the summer sun. This collection features highlights from Dunhuang, particularly the Tang dynasty, and also John Singer Sargent's paintings from America from the Brooklyn Museum and the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, where he enjoyed painting women, including his family members, enjoying the pleasures of life. Here we showcase beauty and fashion in Dunhuang after careful studies into the makeup of the figures in the mural paintings. To revive femininity from ancient China, our team have proposed a variety of products. Colours of Cubism centres around the modern art movement of Cubism, which was inspired by early 20th century abstract art, a world away from the traditional designs that had been seen for centuries. Cubism broke and disregarded all the rules set before them. It is what the viewer, you yourselves, sees that holds the meaning of these masterpieces. Cubism was an early movement in the modern art styles and one that openly accepted female artists, such as Lyubov Popova, who lived in France and Italy and travelled across Europe. She was a radical artist and designer who used a variety of materials and techniques to make her multimedia creativity. We have also taken inspiration from her work and that of Spanish artist Juan Gris, who also engaged in Cubism, from the collection in the Thyssen-Bornemisza National, one of our new partners in Madrid, Spain. We're excited to share this new collection with our new partner and style guides releasing after this event. Those who joined us for our theme launch in 2021 will have seen we released a few style guides in our Botanical Affairs collection theme. These were Vintage Romanticism, the Centered Parterre, and Florography. Flowers and the natural environment will always be an evergreen theme in fashion, homeware, gifting, and across many product categories, which decorate our wardrobes and everyday life. Each year, we will take some style guides and add to these, giving a refreshed look or expanding on designs we are already featuring. With these, we've looked into theme insights and how flowers dominate fashion shows, daily life, and among the arts and crafts movements, including many exhibitions seen in arts and science worldwide. Botanical arts particularly brought female scientists and botanists into the art world. And we've been inspired by William Morris, Maria Sibylla Merian, and Edna Boys Hopkins. Florography has been inspired by modern artists from William Morris, and we've also got a collection called Under the Microscope. The Brooklyn Museum's collection gives us the wallpaper sample book of William Morris's designs, with over 300 wallpaper samples, of which we have been inspired by within this style guide. We have expanded upon this with polychromatic ornaments, 100 plates in gold, silver, and colours, a book in the archive which features designs inspired by a variety of cultures from the Far East, Middle East, and even South America. Here we showcase some of our new designs in reviving William Morris. Under the Microscope, our second collection in Botanical Affairs showcases the merging of arts and sciences from the 16th and 17th centuries and into the 20th century. People were learning about botany with a greater purpose and engaging in science as well as their beauty. And we share this blooming past for a colourful future in the art history and ARTiSTORY. Under the Microscope is inspired by German artist Maria Sibylla Merian, who merged the art of illustration with science, and Edna Boys Hopkins, whose woodblock prints of colourful flowers from the early 20th century are inspired by the Japanese art movement ukiyo-e, of which she discovered while studying the arts. Both these collections are within the Museum of Fine Arts Boston and give us a wealth of inspiration for a spring-summer collection within our style guides here. Workable AI files, design assets are within this style guide and are full of colour for multi-generational clothing, gifting, stationery, homewares, garden accessories, and much more. They're full of imagination, inspired by nature and exotic landscapes from the eyes of two talented female artists. Our final collection for Spring/Summer 2023 is Glitz and Glam. We have been inspired by all things gold, silver, shiny, glamorous, and gilded embellishment, and cocktail dresses which have been seen in some of the most recent runways, reviving the Art Deco style. From the 1920s to the 2020s, let's get ready to party. Some of the greatest parties of all time took place in the 1920s. Whether real or fictional, we have been inspired by some of the newest films and TV series of recent years, from The Crown to Downton Abbey to The Great Gatsby, Bridgerton, and The Gilded Age. We know that the aspirational life of decadent class, drama, scandal, and glamorous jewellery and outfits have inspired us throughout the world. In the UK and across the Commonwealth, Queen Elizabeth II's Platinum Jubilee will be celebrated this year, which will have a rolling effect for the trend of royalty in popular culture for many months or years to come. We have taken inspiration from the ancient dynasties in China, as well as the Regency era across Europe, for the collections within this theme. This theme features 4 collections: Crowns and Regalia, Diamond Dynasty, Splendid, and Regency and Romance. From Chinese court artists to flappers and feathers of the 1920s, these beautiful crowns and jewels are roaring back to life and ready to embrace the dazzling 2020s. Looking into the royal collection from Qing dynasty of China to ancient Egypt, Persia, and Greece, we are inspired by those most exquisite handicrafts and history and the jewels inlaid on them, either for ceremonial purposes or daily use. These once belonged to past queens and princesses, and the iconic blue of these crowns attracted collectors globally and generationally, though the techniques of colouring the crowns are almost lost. In this episode, we bring back their glamour and revive the brilliance of the colours that endure for centuries. The symbol of women in Chinese royal family is the phoenix, and the flower, the peony, which is the king of flowers and means wealth and joy, which features frequently on these headdresses and throughout our designs in the style guide. ARTiSTORY illustrators have taken the most iconic colours from Chinese royal collections, the kingfisher blue and the golden yellow from the Qing dynasty, to symbolise power and fortune. Chrysanthemums and crowns are the basis for some of these patterns and prints, and the yellow particularly is a sign that the original teapot was created for the royal family. Find out more within our style guides. Diamond Dynasty is inspired by the great elegance of the American and European aristocracy. In the 19th, 20th century, this was a time of elegance and etiquette, jewels and bulls, and novelists and composers, poets and artists thrived in this romantic movement of social change. Fashion was high and music was loud. The artwork of George Barbier from the 20th century inspires Diamond Dynasty from his album, which is in the Brooklyn Museum. The album contains 12 illustrations that depicts the movement of the dancer, which is iconic of the 1920s Art Deco era. Our IP Plus projects hope to inspire experiences and events centered around the Diamond Dynasty style guide. Splendid. Zhaojing, the square murals painted on the ceilings of Mogao Caves, are some of the most beautiful scenery in Dunhuang. Among all other mural paintings, Zhaojing are more decorative than narrative, embodying continuous and changing flower and plant motifs and auspicious animals. They are already brilliant patterns on their own that inspire the pilgrimages. Inspired by various cultures that met and merged in Dunhuang along the Silk Road, artists of different dynasties developed or reformed the patterns of Zhaojing into countless styles that, after generations, can tell the stories of art and culture. These designs have been created by British artist Laura Greenham within our Contemporary Artist programme. She has created illustrations inspired by the Zhaojing ceilings and female donors of the Mogao caves in Dunhuang. Concentric circles and floral elements appear in this set, conveying a soft and vivid image throughout Laura's significant geometric drawings. We explore the world of the journey into Dunhuang's arts, where these are beautiful. Splendid. Celestial Harmony has been created by Ukrainian artist Sveta Dorosheva, who lives in Israel. She has created the illustrations in a gorgeous and intricate style with the addition of auspicious elements such as animals, plants, and apsaras. The concept of a talisman illustrates a deeper meaning of Dunhuang dealing and a new understanding of Dunhuang art, which is sure to bring boundless luck to future collections. Our fourth collection in Glitz and Glam is Regency and Romance, which brings to life the elegance of balls and partying, which has been brought into many recent shows, exhibitions, and even through fashion and accessories recently. The Regency and Romance collection is inspired by the National Gallery and the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. Within the MFA collection, we have focused on Rococo porcelain, ceramics, and dresses with their colours, intricacy, and gold and embroidery detailing. We have also looked at the National Gallery, in particular the costumes, the beautiful dresses, and decorative motifs of the garments depicted in the ceilings by some of the most famous artists, from Ingres, John Constable, Thomas Gainsborough, and Thomas Lawrence, to present high quality of Regency fashion from the time. We hope this will inspire IP Plus experiences and mock-ups for products directly from the original dresses and paintings. This collection is a work in progress. Please keep communications with our sales teams, and we look forward to meeting with you very soon. We hope we'll keep sharing and creating stories from the world of art, culture, and history. Thank you all for listening, and I'll hand back to the team for questions.
Thank you, Georgina. We hope that everybody's enjoyed the presentation today and that the creatives inspired you and that you're already imagining beautiful designs on your products. Please do get in touch, as Georgina said, with your ARTiSTORY licensing representative to select your themes and collections and the designs that work for your business in 2023 and beyond. I'd like to thank everyone at ARTiSTORY for their hard work today, and also to our museum partners for their contributions. You can follow ARTiSTORY on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and WeChat. We've come to the end of our presentation, but we are all here to answer any questions. Please feel free to post anything in the chat, and we'll respond to your questions. We're not rushing off. So the floor's over to you now.
And as we wait for the questions, as you can see, there are a lot of contents in terms of what the team has put together. But also on the other hand, we can see the breadth, and also the depth in terms of applications, how art and culture can be applied to various product categories. And as we speak, I'm happy to share with the team that we are closing another series of deals in the space of digital merchandise, in the form of digital collectibles in the Chinese market for multiple of our museum partners. Yeah, I know there's probably a lot of information to digest, but again, you know who you can reach out to in your market. You know, as we have shown on the screen just now, we have our BD offices in Singapore, in Shanghai, in Beijing, in Barcelona, in London, and in Boston. And feel free to reach out to those people.
We've had a nice thank you in the group.
Yeah, so that. Natasha, do you think when we can start to release this level 1 deck to our potential partners?
We'll just need to amend it, make some amends to it, but we should be able to release that. Well, let's say, what day is today? Let's say early next week. Well, some of this is Georgina's work and she's off tomorrow, so I'm conscious of time. So next week.
And in terms of the Chinese versions, is Wenjing on the line? How soon the Chinese version will be ready for the Chinese retailers?
Oh, there we go. Question for you, Isan, to share some more information on the digital collectibles.
Okay, this is a question from Chen Ming, right? Chen Ming. Yes, we have since January this year, we have already launched 2 digital collectible on 2 different platforms in China for Dunhuang, and one of them is done through the platform on Tencent, featuring some of mirror work that we have taken from the Dunhuang Inspirations. And the second one is in partnership with SenseTime, which is artificial intelligence companies that together we're producing a number of unique design assets to feature Dunhuang as well. That is launched in the month of March. And we are closing in 2 more licensing agreements in the space of digital collectibles for Dunhuang as well in the past week, and we look forward to do more with many of our new museum partners in the next probably 4 to 6 weeks.
Thank you, Son. Just to let you know, Wenjing isn't in the group, so she can't answer your question on when the Chinese version will be ready, Isan. She's not a presenter.
All right. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure many of the Chinese licensees and retailers are very anxious to see these new collections.
Oh, thank you, Nikos. Nikos is from the Benaki Museum, our newest museum partner.
Yep. Oh, we have guests from the British Library as well. Katran's here. Katran, we just finished our presentations, but it's never too late. It's never too late. I will have our UK team to share with you our 2023 themes in coming week. Yeah. Natasha, I believe probably too many information for many of the audience to absorb. So I think we can also always answer to the questions. I mean, wherever they have, they can reach out to our BD teams.
Yes, absolutely. It's a lot of information to take in, especially with all of the new themes and collections. So please do get in touch, and our BD team will have the presentation on the new creative by the end of next week to share with everybody.
All right. So team, I think it's probably time for us to wrap this up. In terms of timing, it's perfect. It's just 10 evening in my time here. So thank you for your great work, and thank you for all the museum partners who participated. I saw Sarah from the Brooklyn Museum. I saw a number of people from the Benaki Museum as well, and also saw Deborah. Thank you for your participations. I look forward to seeing you soon in person.
Great, thank you, everybody. Thanks again. You've become very quiet, so we're going to leave here, but please direct any questions to us after the event.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Take care, guys. Bye. Bye, guys.
Thank you.